It was at this Berlin police station that German police stumbled on Al-Qaeda's crown jewels, 141 heavily encrypted documents recovered from a man brought in for questioning. It took German intelligence operatives several weeks to crack the super secure password that was hiding the documents. Until now, investigators have found nothing to indicate a specific target or attack is being planned. But they have learned a lot about how Al-Qaeda plans, how it learns from its mistakes, and how it still poses a global threat. Because of operators like Rashid Rauf. He planned the London subway attacks July 7th, 2005, and admits he was responsible for more plots, including the failed mass transit attack 2 weeks later, July 21st.
Looks like a confirmation that Al-Qaeda was behind the 21/7 plot as well, something which I don't think was that clear before.
According to a document written by Rauf, the 7/21 ringleader, Mukhtar Syed Ibrahim, flew from London's Heathrow Airport to Pakistan in late 2004. British intelligence was suspicious and had asked Pakistani security services to watch him. Even so, he was able to travel to an Al-Qaeda camp and get explosives training. But Ibrahim and his fellow plotters were unable to detonate their bombs. Rauf blamed it on a communications failure. He said that the 7/7 bombers had had the same problem with their bomb making, but because they'd spent more time learning codes and secure communication, he was able to help them sort their problem out. The 7/21 plotters, he said, had not had so much communications training, and they lost contact with him. Londoners were lucky. All the time, Rauf and Al-Qaeda explosives experts were refining their skills and moving to their next big plot. To bring down planes using liquid explosives. It's why to this day we are limited to small amounts of liquids on flights. Rauf recalled that just 400 grams of high explosives had brought down Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie in Scotland, 1988. And after several trial runs, devised a plan to detonate similar-sized bombs of hydrogen peroxide on board transatlantic flights. His document reveals Al-Qaeda's technical expertise. They knew which chemicals could pass undetected through an airport scanner, which dyes to use to make the liquid look like soda and not damage the explosives, and how to turn a AA battery into a detonator. All achieved through determined experimentation in Pakistan. That large plot was eventually broken up after British intelligence began tracking some of those involved. Even so, Rauf wrote that some of the brothers involved were still at large. Rauf himself was arrested in Pakistan only to escape before being killed in a drone strike in 2008. US counter-terrorism sources say his death was a major blow to Al-Qaeda, his organizational skills and focus on security sorely missed. A recurring theme in the Berlin documents, Al-Qaeda is under pressure, needs to adapt.
If you read the Future Works document, it clearly delivers the notion that Al-Qaeda knows that they are being followed very closely. It explicitly says that the Western security institutions have become very good at foiling attacks, and that they have to come up with new ways and better plotting.
And that's just what they are trying to do. It may be that the future brings the sort of lone gunman attacks that recently left 7 people dead in France, rather than anything complex like 9/11. No coincidence that a year after these documents were written, European intelligence agencies were scrambling to deal with exactly the sort of plot they outline, a low-cost assault along the lines of the Mumbai attack.
Would I say that the Euro plot is off the table? No. But I believe that the general idea is still alive. And I believe that as soon as Al-Qaeda believes that they have the capacities to realistically go after that sort of scenario, they will immediately do it.
German prosecutors say that Yusuf Ochak and Maksud Lodin, the pair who came back to Europe last year, may have been intended as the latest wave of attackers. But their names were on a watch list and triggered an alert when they arrived. Lodin and Ochak's trial is expected to last several more weeks. Their case appears to be living proof that the blueprint laid out in the documents is still active for carnage in Europe. Al-Qaeda has not changed its ambitions. And if it finds another Rashid Rauf, it may yet be able to translate those ambitions into devastating attacks. Nic Robertson, CNN, Berlin, Germany.